This is Fibonacci. This man is Italian, as you can see, but his father was working in Northern Africa as a customs officer, and he had to come down to Northern Africa to learn the geometry that you see here, the series that he developed, Fibonacci series. So he got his ideas from Africa. You can even see the way his headdress is like an Arab. But the fact is, he had to move to Kemet to learn the geometry, the series. But one thing that Fibonacci did was that he appreciated Africa so much that he included 0 in his number series progression, whereas modern day Europeans don't even appreciate 0. They say 0 means nothing. Well, look at what Fibonacci has. He made sure that 0 existed. So look at his series. It goes from F0 to F40. So now you know why, in fact, sacred geometry is not worth your time, because sacred geometry doesn't incorporate the 0 aspect that is so relevant in terms of natural numbers, the spiritual aspect of it, because it is way up there, which is why you need to move on to fractal geometry, because fractal geometry takes you down. And this is what this lecture series is all about. This lecture series is going to take you right down to fractal geometry. You are going to be learning the true fractal geometry. But anyways, the sacred geometry that you have been working with, look at what it shows you. It shows you starting from 0 and going down to look at that, 1,134,903 and 170. So you start from the apex of the triangle, and then you go spread down. It's like multi-level marketing. So you can see the application of sacred geometry. Application of sacred geometry is multi-level marketing. And who benefits? The man at the top, the guy at the top. So you have been conned. That's what sacred geometry does to you. It cons you. It cons you into believing that you are actually benefiting when you are not benefiting at all. So get off this, the learning you've been learning. Just get down to the true science that I'm teaching, the true mathematics that I'm teaching. Now you see exactly that you are stuck, because the logic of Fibonacci series is just one-dimensional. This is the logic of Fibonacci series. It is very much one-dimensional, and so it's not going to take you anywhere. But when you go down to fractal geometry, like I showed you, you are going to have 3 different types of logic. I showed you the ratios there. You're going to have 3 different types of logic, and so you move from one to the other, and that gives you a whole lot of intelligences that you work with. So you have 3 different intelligences to work with. Fibonacci gives you 1 intelligence, and that's the same thing they show you with the leaves, with the petals of plants of leaves. They show you a little bulb, and then beneath that you have a leaf, and then the leaf keeps expanding. The same thing they show you with the sky, with rain clouds, with snow. The same thing. There's nothing. It's all one-dimensional. So you wasted thousands and thousands of dollars learning sacred geometry. It doesn't take you anywhere. It doesn't expand you. I'm Professor Momo. Sign up now for this class. Go to www.Dohgon University. Sign up for the class and begin your classes now. I will teach you the real science. I will teach you the real mathematics. And get out of this nonsense. Stop wasting your time and your wisdom. You are very intelligent. Your intelligence has been abused. Let me say that again. Look, you should be learning F0, F5 to F40. I will teach you all of this. Your intelligence has been abused. If you love to be abused, then don't come to me. I'm not going to abuse you. I'm going to teach you the real thing. Thank you. I'm Professor Momo. I look forward to working with you. Nama. Start learning the real science. Start with Introduction to AfRAkan Logic, African fractions, and AfRAkan fractals. Here we present you AfRAkan Logic. There are 3 essentials to AfRAkan Logic. Here we give you the foundational part of AfRAkan Logic with an equation It is the black circle, and the ratio is Ni plus Ui over Si. Now Ni means natural intelligence, Ui means universal intelligence over spiritual intelligence. So Ni plus Ui over Si. That is the foundational aspect of the logic of AfRAkan logic. And that's the foundational aspect of AfRAkan logic, and so we call it the mutual inclusivity of AfRAkan logic. And so the inclusivity goes now further to give you the next aspect of the ratios. Now the green that you see is Ni over Si. Ni is natural intelligence, again, over spiritual intelligence. So spirit is constantly involved with the other ratios. And then the other aspect you will see here is in red, the circle. It's Ui over Si. Again, Ui is universal intelligence over spiritual intelligence. So the denominating factor in all of this is constant with spiritual intelligence. Now we move on. Why AfRAkan logic is so pertinent? Because it is a multi-layered logic. It is not a single layered logic. And I'm going to tell you why this is so relevant in terms of when we talk about fractal geometry. In fact, I'm now going to introduce you to fractal geometry, how in fact this multi-layered or this multi-level logic is so pertinent, because it's the connection between all of these logics is fractal geometry. Here it is. In fractal geometry, I start you off with AfRAkan fractions. Now the AfRAkan fractions, they initially called Egyptian fractions. Why they called it Egyptian fractions? Well, they know they called it Egyptian fractions because they wanted to hide the African nature of mathematics. In other words, if they gave it Egyptian fractions, then your mind goes straight away to the Arabs, and so the Arabs get the credit, and we Africans are always looked upon as idiots. We don't create nothing. We are worthless. We are just primitive. That's how they call us. So AfRAkan fractions is here given to you. We have half 1 over 2 plus 1 over 4 plus 1 over 8 plus 1 over 16. Then we solve that problem for you. We say 8 plus 4 plus 2 plus 1 over 16 equals 15 over 16. Now the question that you will have to ask is, well, why do you have 1 on top of each of those fractions? Why 1, 1, 1? Well, this is what you're going to learn. That's why you need this science, because this science is going to take you away from Fibonacci, from Fibonacci's numbers, which in fact are the foundation to your sacred geometry. And so when you learn AfRAkan logic and AfRAkan fractions, you will now begin to see that in fact sacred geometry and everything associated with it does not belong to you, the African. It doesn't belong to you at all. So get off that thing. Get off this sacred geometry nonsense. Now, underneath here, we give you the essence of the fractals, AfRAkan fractals here. You see that the fractions that you saw up there, half, 1 over 2, 1 over 4, 1 over 8, 1 over 16, came from somewhere. Where did they come from? Well, they came from the exponents. So the exponents that are associated with all these fractions are 2 to the minus 1, which is half, 2 to the minus 2, which is 1/4, 2 to the minus 3 is 1/8, and 2 to the minus 4 is 1/16. And this is where AfRAkan fractals just keep giving you extensions. So we begin from exponents, then it will give you fractions, and then we give you the solution to the fractions. So in other words, what we are constantly giving you is that there's an inclusivity, which is what we showed over here with the inclusive nature of AfRAkan logic. You cannot have any logic if it is not inclusive. If you have logic that is not inclusive, it's not logic. Throw it down the gutter. Throw it down the gutter. All right. So we're now going to continue.